Day in the life of a crawfish farmer by a non-crawfish farmer. All right, let's go.
Careful, careful. Chest
Hey,
up,
yeah.
chest up.
Wait.
Feel your way around. Use your feet.
It's like quicksand in here.
Oh!
Crawfish, crawfish, crawfish!
I'm Ming Tan, and I'm a chef. But in this series, I won't be in the kitchen very much. Instead,
You ready?
I'll be spending all of my time on farms.
No, 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 wrong way, wrong way!
Just collapse and pull.
I'm about to collapse.
These are farms run by Singaporeans.
I'm screwing up so much.
I'll be slogging it out as a farmhand. To find out what it takes to farm food today. Singaporean Desmond Chow is preparing a fishing wader for my 4-day visit. I'm heading to Ta Sau village in Veng province, Cambodia. It's a 3-hour drive from the capital. In Khmer, Veng means long forest. But 3 decades ago, the forests made way for agriculture. 10% of the nation's rice supply comes from this province. But I'm not headed to a paddy field. Instead, amidst an endless field of paddy, sits a 3-hectare farm that breeds crawfish. And this is where I'll be spending the next 4 days.
Hey, Ming. Welcome to Cambodia.
Good
Welcome to my
morning.
farm.
I see a lot of open space, and I see you're carrying this. This is a wetsuit with boots on. We're gonna get into the ponds.
Yeah, exactly. You want to see the crawfishes,
I
right?
would love to see the crawfish.
Sure,
Okay.
let's go. Okay, I know you don't see much because all you see here are bodies of water.
Yeah.
But what's really fun is actually underneath the water.
I
Come,
see.
let me show you.
Okay.
So what's lurking underneath the water are these. Crawfish. A freshwater crustacean that looks like a small lobster. Crawfish are grown in ponds here. And this farm has 16 such ponds.
Oh. I can see them coming up.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. These are catfish.
We are looking at a multi-cropping pond.
Multi-cropping pond.
Exactly. We are actually one of the first farms to have crawfish, fish, and vegetables.
Desmond had to redesign and reconstruct paddy fields with deeper trenches. In place of rice, popular vegetables like lettuce and water spinach can be planted, which are what this farm grows too.
So crawfish are bottom dwellers, so they'll usually stay at the bottom of the pond. And finally, vegetation on top. Feces produced by the fish and the crawfish actually acts as a fertilizer for the vegetation. At the same time, the vegetation extracts the ammonia from the water, providing a cleaner and better environment for the fishes and the crawfish. So it's a whole ecosystem where the fish, the crawfish, and the vegetables benefit each other mutually.
Okay, explain why this is useful in this part of the world.
In Cambodia, a market price of rice is roughly about $5,000 to yield from a hectare of land. But when you add crawfish and fish into the equation with our multi-cropping technique, you can stand to earn about $20,000 a year. And that's 400%. And that's huge for the farmer.
I see. So, Both rice farmers and fish farmers can do better if they practice multi-cropping.
Exactly.
Why are you doing this?
We are trying to play a small part to help alleviate world food poverty.
Why, of all things to grow and farm, why crawfish?
So growing crawfish is extremely easy and it's also extremely profitable. It's considered in most countries as a luxury food item. Prices of crawfish can go up as high as shrimps and crabs. But crawfishes are very difficult to reproduce. And thankfully, we have the technology to help reproduce crawfish.
In 2019, Desmond gave up his role as a part-time lecturer to further develop crawfish breeding full-time. Within 4 years, he has set up 5 multi-cropping farms. In Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, Cambodia, and Bhutan.
Okay, let's go catch some crawfish. But first, we need to get some bait to bait the crawfish into the traps. So, do you know what we're doing?
I assume we're gonna cut out these live catfish and then we're gonna bait this stack of nets here.
Exactly, because crawfishes love fish. I'll let you do it.
Oh, me?
Of course.
Okay, sure, yeah, all right. All right, so what kind of sizes do you need this catfish in?
You can just basically do it in 10 pieces. Bite size just for them. When we first started crawfish farming, I do this every day.
Every day?
Every single day. Yeah, I had to do this myself. We had to get our hands dirty, learn first-hand experience, how to cut up fishes, how to set up baits, set up the traps.
This preparation happens in the late afternoon when there is still natural light.
Okay, good.
But when darkness sets in and nocturnal crawfish crawl out in search of food, that's when we trap them.
Oh wow, it's like an accordion.
Yeah, exactly.
So this whole thing is one trap.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's 3 meters long. All right, so if you look at these traps, you will realize that there are entryways from both the left and the right. So what we do is we usually put the baits in, and once they go in, they can come out.
I see, there's a bit of a bottleneck kind of thing and they can't come out.
Genius, right?
Yes. Alright, just a few more. That's all
Perfect.
the bits filled.
Yep.
Okay.
So you need to hold the net really taut.
Hold
if
it
not,
taut.
all the bait, they will gather at the center.
Alright.
Okay, let's do it.
You pull first, you pull, you pull.
Yep.
Constant tension.
So a net like that, we can easily yield roughly about 10 kilos of crawfish.
10 kg.
10 kilos, exactly.
I can carry 10 kg. You count, you count.
1,
Yep.
2, 3. Perfect. Okay, Ming, let us sleep while the crawfishes eat. Careful. Sit down, sit down. Slowly slide down.
Ah! Woo!
Chest up,
yeah.
chest up. Use your feet.
Wait.
Feel your way around.
It's like quicksand in here. Oh! Crawfish, crawfish, crawfish!
Singaporean Desmond Chow set up a crawfish farm in 2022 in Veng province, Cambodia. This morning, we will be pulling in the trap we set in the pond yesterday. These are called grow-out ponds because crawfish that are more than a month old are kept here.
How many times do you harvest crawfish from this farm a year?
We harvest it 3 times a year.
3 times.
Exactly, because of the good tropical weather, we can grow crawfish all year round.
Compared to?
Compared to crawfish farms in other countries where they have 4 seasons, because crawfish in general don't do too well in winter. They either go into hibernation or some of them will die. So a weakness for them is actually opportunity in Southeast Asia where we have tropical weather all year round. So in Southeast Asia, there's actually a fast-growing demand for crawfish, especially for landlocked countries like Cambodia, where they don't have easy access to seafood.
Okay.
Remember this one?
Yes. This is where we put our net down.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go in and pull out this net of crawfish.
And not we, just you.
Why just me?
Because I've done this more than 1,000 times. And you have to experience it firsthand, into the waters.
Day in the life of a crawfish farmer by a non-crawfish farmer. All right, let's go.
Careful. Sit down, slowly slide down. Yep.
Ah,
Careful, careful. Chest up, chest up.
wait.
Feel your way around. Woo! Use your feet.
There's like quicksand in here.
Use your feet to feel your way around.
Okay. Ooh, what's this?
Net is a net.
Ah,
Yeah.
net.
Yep. Just hold it on with your pinky and then you just pretend to fish
Okay,
around.
net.
Okay, wow, found it. Pull it up.
Ah, net.
Yeah, pull it up.
Net.
Yeah. Collapse and pull, collapse and pull. Yeah.
I'm about to collapse.
Wow.
This net is getting heavier as I lift it out of the water. More crawfish! wait. This is not good. Now my feet are crossed. Okay.
Okay, let me help you out. Okay. Wow.
Crawfish!
Grab it.
Guys, we found an escapee. So I'm gonna try and get out with one hand, holding a crawfish.
Yeah. Great job, great job.
Hello, you're my prize. Look at this beautiful fella. I can't imagine doing this on a day in, day out basis. This is obviously fun for me, but it's extremely tiring. It must be pretty challenging to do this on a daily basis.
Yeah, every day. And then you see in a pond like that, we put at least 20 nets.
20 nets, that's just
20
one.
nets.
It took me like half an hour already. Ah, there we go.
Okay, great job.
Look at the size of this fellow. Oh, he's like a lobster. Ow, ow, ow. He's got this mottled blue color at the back. Look at his claws.
These crawfishes are actually a breed called the Charax quadricarinatus. They originate from Australia.
Why this particular species?
So there are actually more than 600 species of crawfishes in the world. And we have actually done research on quite a bit of them. And we believe that this is the most commercially viable crawfish to grow.
The most commercially viable crawfish.
Exactly. The meat yield is significantly higher. So the meat yield of this red claw crawfish can be as high as 40 to 60%.
While his crawfish grow out in these ponds, they are bred somewhere else. This is Desmond's brainchild.
So welcome to my hatchery.
Oh,
These are no ordinary spawn, mind you.
Ready? Okay.
oh, look at this guy. Look at that. Look at the coloration. Nice, large head. Whoa. He's a feisty fella. Huh?
Grab it.
So hold him
Okay.
gently. Yeah, like that. Okay, he's quite tame. He's behaving right now.
We only select the best brood stocks and place it in our hatchery. Brood stocks meaning the best males and the best females.
And in order to select these best males and females, what kind of methods do you use?
Okay, there are actually two methods, right? The traditional and the modern. So the traditional method is actually to visually select them. So a crawfish mother will have a brood of babies between 500 to 1,000. But not all of them are going to grow up to the same size. Some of them will be S, M, L, XL, and even XXL. We only select the best to reproduce. But of course, size is just one of the factors.
What does the modern method look like?
So back in our lab in Singapore, we do cells tests and our DNA genetic markers for the crawfish so that we can track their genetic lines and have the best bloodline of crawfish to reproduce.
Because not everything is identifiable visually, right?
Exactly. So other than size, we look at factors like environmentally tolerant, temperature tolerant, disease resistant, high fecundity levels. And the reason why we do that is because we want to allow these crawfish to be grown anywhere in the world. In Southeast Asia, in China, in the US, in Europe, or even in the African continent. So for traditional farmers, the survivability of a baby to adult is roughly about 20%.
Oh, these are terrible odds.
Exactly. What the farmers usually do is that they will take this comb, all right, and they will just comb out the eggs from here, and they will put it in the incubator.
So they basically have to go and manhandle each pregnant female at this vulnerable stage and then physically separate the eggs from the underbelly,
Exactly.
which doesn't seem smart when you're looking for high survival rates.
It's not. That's why at our hatchery, we have this IP technology that automatically separates the eggs from the parents.
Without this manual process.
Without. At our hatchery, survivability goes up to 80%.
80%.
And-
4/5 of a chance. Those odds a bit better.
Exactly.
I want to take a look at this system of yours that separates automatically the babies from the parents.
I'll be able to show you certain parts of the hatchery, but for our IP technology, it's still a bit sensitive.
Okay, release. Bye.
My next chore is to feed the crawfish. Crawfish are fed about 2 to 4 times a day.
All right, eat up.
But I soon find out that in this high-tech farm, even crawfish feed required 3 years of trial and development.
Okay, good.
It's 7 a.m. Feeding time.
So scoop a bit,
Yep.
and then when you throw,
All right, let me try that. Simple enough.
yep.
Okay,
Now you can walk around the whole farm to feed it.
5 steps, feed.
Okay, that's good.
5 steps, feed.
Yeah, very good.
What is this feed made of, Desmond?
So we have a special formula of 12 ingredients in this feed.
12 ingredients, like the Colonel's secret recipe.
Exactly.
All right, crayfish, eat up. Why did you decide to make custom food for crawfish?
Back in 2018, when we first started the business, we went online, searched for crawfish feed, and we were very surprised that we couldn't find any commercial crawfish feed in the market.
Really?
There were fish feed, there was shrimp feed, but just no commercial crawfish feed. So ethical farmers would usually feed their crawfishes a replacement feed like fish feed or shrimp feed. But the unethical farmers, what they would do is they would go to the markets in the evening. They will buy whatever that's left over, all the rotten fruits, vegetables, meats. They'll go back to their farm, they'll grind it up, and they'll throw it into the pond. The worst that I've heard is that they will go to the chicken farm and they will get a kilo of chicken poop for like almost $1, and then they'll just throw it in the pond and
Wait, crawfish can eat chicken poop.
Crawfish are scavengers, they eat almost everything.
All right, how did you come about to formulate this feed?
So back in 2018, I had a small office set up. I put in 100 tanks and I put in all the little crawfishes into each of these tanks. We go to the market and they will buy all kinds of funny stuff, from vegetables like kailan, lettuce, to fruits, like papaya, banana, even durian. And also protein, right? So fish, beef, chicken, pork, etc. And what we realized was that with certain ingredients that we threw in, the crawfishes were not very excited.
Okay.
But with certain ingredients, wow, they got very excited, came out to eat immediately. And for certain ingredients that we threw in, the crawfishes died.
So there's obviously an optimal bunch of stuff to feed crawfish.
Exactly. So all these years of research, we have compiled 12 special ingredients to put into this crawfish feed that allows them to grow healthier and bigger.
Feeding nearly 10,000 crawfish in these 16 ponds took 2 hours.
Okay, good.
My next chore brings me back to the hatchery. While everything is automated here, some maintenance work still needs to be done manually.
The first thing you need to do is to get out all the air stones. We lower the water level.
So the water level is almost lowered already.
Yes.
I'm standing in about 2 inches of water right now.
Then you have to scrub the pond. Make sure you scrub them real clean. Make them white. So you need to go deep, scrub,
Fair amount of gunk here.
Yep. And then lastly, we're gonna lime the pond with calcium carbonate.
This clean pond will become a home for newly born crawfish in need of the best living conditions.
Over the years where we started the hatchery, there's a lot of trial and errors, a lot of things that we did wrong, from the height of the tanks, the depth of the water.
Even the height.
Yeah, the height of the tank matters, and different water parameters, how efficiently is the water going to flow. There were multiple failures, and people on my team, we were thinking of giving it up, right? Maybe we were just not the right fit for this business.
Give me an example of one of those darkest times.
Failures like the design of these hatcheries wouldn't work, our crawfish wouldn't stop dying, mortality spiked. Those were crawfish problems. We haven't even talked about human problems. Our workers, they stole our crawfish, sold it in the markets. There were gangsters that sabotaged our ponds, ransom for money. So there are lots and lots of these problems outside the crawfish business that you don't see, but we're glad that we made it through.
This is definitely worth a celebration. So I'm gonna barbecue some fresh crawfish to bring out its natural flavors. I'm also going to cook a chili sauce to celebrate our Singaporean heritage.
Wow, smells amazing.
The fruits of your labor.
Wow,
I'm gonna take this
amazing.
big boy over here.
Yeah.
Ooh, look at this guy. You give that a bit of a twist. Ho 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 ho. Look at that.
So Ming, after spending a few days on my farm, how do you feel?
It's physical because I'm a city boy and I'm soft and pudgy and I'm not physically fit as a farmer. The part that really fascinates me is the maintenance of standards inside your hatchery and the science that needs to be done prior to that. And in eating this piece of crawfish, I think the technology works too.
A lot of people might say that it's such a big goal or such a big dream that you're trying to achieve, changing the world, feeding the world, and, pioneering crawfish. But don't fear failure. It's low aim that's the crime. In great attempts, it's even glorious to fail.
Bruce Lee.
By Bruce Lee. All right, cheers, man.
Cheers.